my friend. Thank you very much for joining me in another FC24 tactics video today. My name is Ash. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm a professionally fully qualified football scout, but most importantly, this is the home of FC24 tactics on YouTube. Nobody replicates tactics better, does more research and puts more analysis into these systems than this channel right here. So welcome along. And this time around, with news of Vincent Kompany joining Bayern Munich as manager for the next season, I thought it'd be a good time to take a look at what his Bayern Munich system could look like in FC24. We take his principles, his style of play, his previous systems, and we look to adapt them and fit them into the next team, or the current team in this case, with Bayern Munich. So let's see what that looks like. As always, if you enjoy the video, make sure to hit the subscribe button, ring the bell to get notifications every time I upload. And with that being said, let's get into the position changes. So with the formation itself, I've selected a 4-2-1-3 in FC24 terms at least. We've made a few changes here. First things first, Joshua Kimmich is moved up to right wing back, and then he is moved inside as close as you can get him to the central midfielder and the centre back before it kind of won't allow you, in order to make him invert. We know Kompany likes to utilise inverted fullbacks, and Joshua Kimmich is absolutely perfect for that role. So this works out really nicely. Davies, on the other hand, he's also moved up to left wing back, but in this case, he's pushed up outside because he's going to be that attacking, overlapping fullback who's going to complement the wingers really nicely. This is the back line that I think he's really going to like before we see any signings. Matthijs de Ligt, I think he's going to fit in perfectly. I think he's really going to like him because of his kind of technical ability and his ability to play out from the back. Kimmich likewise as well as Alphonso Davies if they can keep him. Pavlovic at defensive midfielder. This is the sort of player that Kompany's also really going to like. A ball progressor from the deep positions. He's going to enable you to get it out through the thirds at a more effective and efficient degree. Next up, we have Goretzka. He's pushed up to the central midfield position. Now, he's the one I kind of and ahed with the most about it. Whether or not they'll find a kind of replacement, if that's a sort of player Kompany's looking for in his midfield, not yet sure. But for now, in terms of the personnel they have available there, I would say he'd probably prefer him to someone like Konrad Laimer. We've got Musiala as the cam, and in this case with the wingers, there are a couple of changes. Sane out wide, he's stretched all the way out to the touchline, whereas Koeman this time, you move him inside a little bit, but he'll still be at left wing. And this is because what that's going to do is going to get him to the half spaces a little bit more, and it complements Davies, who's going to really create the width and stretch out to the touchline, whilst Koeman will get closer to Kane as that striker. Gnabry's another one who I think he's really going to like. Again, and ahed about that, whether to have Sane, whether to have Koeman, of course. He already has that relationship with Sane as a player when they were at Man City, so I suspect that he'll favour him. With Koeman or Gnabry on the other hand, it could go either way, so take that with a little pinch of salt. Let's talk about the tactical instructions next then, shall we? What do we have from a tactical point of view? But first, before we do that, I want to quickly say, if you haven't done so already, check out my Patreon. The link is in the description and also at the top of the comment section, because on there you can get access to lots of fantastic perks and rewards, including exclusive tactics videos such as McKenna's Ipswich, we've got Farkas Leeds, Martin Southampton, we've got Girona, we've got Galatasaray, we've got Leicester, we have Sheffield Wednesday on there as well, we've got PSV, we've got a whole host of exclusive tactics videos that you can only get access on a Patreon, as well as access to behind the scenes videos of my scouting career, the tactics package, Discord server access, and a whole lot more. The best way to support the channel, and it really is those patrons who are keeping the channel going, so I want to say a huge thank you to them as well. So from a tactical perspective then, first things first, we've got pressure on heavy touch on the defensive style, and then the team width is going to be on 20, making sure that it's going to be nice and compact. The block, on the other hand, is going to be higher. It's going to be set up to 80, so you're going to have a high line, you're going to have a high defensive block, and hopefully that's going to help to complement that press that you're going to need as one of these elite teams, where teams are generally going to be deeper against you. From an offensive standpoint, we've got build-up play on slow build-up, and then chance creation is naturally going to be on possession, as we know how he likes his teams like to progress through the thirds, and also really kind of work openings and find a way in a vertical possessional sense to break teams down. The width is going to be on 20, nice and condensed, really helps to complement the likes of Kimmich and Koeman, who we've already moved in with their positionings to be more centrally, and as a result, it's going to see them closer to those central players, the midfielders, the striker, the centre-backs, etc. And that's really what you're looking for in this regard. Players in the box is going to be up to 8. That's giving you roughly 5 players in the box in crossing situations. The 3 attackers, you're going to have the central midfielder in there. You're going to have the attacking midfielder as well. Maybe even the attacking fullback in Alphonso Davies. So you're going to have a few plays in those crossing situations. And finally, corners and free kicks, as always, both of these are on 4. Next up, let's move on to the player instructions then, shall we? Starting off with Manuel Neuer in goal, who plays nicely into the way Kompany wants his goalkeepers to play. He wants them confident with the ball at his feet. It's why we saw the likes of Muric come in for James Trafford during this season with Burnley. When comes to crosses and then saving outside the box is sweeper keeper. With the 2 centre-backs, there are no changes there, so you can leave them as they are. And then Kimmich as that inverted fullback in this case. Run type is going to be on inverted naturally. And then attacking runs is also going to be on join the attack. It's very important that he contributes to more phases of play as that inverted fullback within Kompany's system. Davis over on the other hand, he's going to be on join the attack, and naturally he's going to be on overlap as well. Now Pavlovic as that defensive midfielder, as we've already alluded to, are going to be a player that I think Kompany's really going to like, and he'll play into his system really nicely. Cut passing lanes through his defensive behaviour, and his attacking support is stay back whilst attacking. In terms of the defensive position, that's on cover wing, and then positioning freedom is going to be on deep lying playmaker. Goretzka as that central midfielder, then you've got a very generic set of instructions in this case. He's on balanced attack for his attacking support, and his support on crosses is balanced crossing runs as well. Positioning freedom though is going to be on drift wide. He'll drift out wider in order to support the likes of Sane, to make sure that he doesn't get isolated out on the wing because of the fact that you've got Kimmich inverting this time around. So you want him drifting wide, and hopefully that will help to create that numerical advantage in the wide areas. And then defensive position is going to be on cover wing. Musiala, a very similar set of kind of instructions to what we've seen in the past. Come back on defence for defensive support, get him tracking back. Support on crosses is going to be getting to the box with the cross. And in position freedom, much like we did with Goretzka, drifting wide to support the wingers, make sure that they aren't isolated. He's going to be doing that as well with his positioning freedom. Now Sane over on the right hand side, he's on come back on defence again, tracking back. Chance creation is stay wide, as we've alluded to already. He's the one who's going to be creating that whip. Support runs, he's going to be getting behind, penetrating that back line. And that's going to play nicely into Kane, which we'll speak about very shortly. And then getting to the box for the cross as well. Koeman on the other hand is slightly different. He's still on come back on defence, and he's still on getting behind. He's also still on getting to the box for the cross, but this time his chance creation is cut inside. As we've already spoken about, he'll complement Davis really nicely, who is going to overlap and create the width, stretch out on that side. Now with Harry Kane up front, it's important that we take in the kind of personal characteristics as well. With Kane, regardless of who his manager has been, we've often seen him dropping off. It's just his natural inclination to get onto the ball in deeper positions and into the other play. It's not something that Kompany has really utilised as manager at Burnley, but I think with Kane, it's just going to be something that's going to kind of come along with the package really. So as a result, we've got him on false 9 for his attacking runs. I think it's going to be something that's going to play into this system really nicely as well. His support runs is going to be on stay central, and in defence support is actually on basic this time. As we know with Kane, he always likes to track back, particularly when he loses the ball. And really help his team out in a defensive phase. So I think that's important to have that on basic as well. So on that note, everyone, we are going to round it off there. If you've enjoyed this one, as always, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell to get notifications every time I upload. And obviously don't forget to check out my Patreon with lots of fantastic perks and rewards on there. With that being said, we're going to finish it off there. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next one, I will see you soon.